Okay, Priya says to be a professor. Is okay. Hello, ma'am. I want to be a teacher. Mahesh is preparing for I want to be a speaker. Thank you so much, everyone. So all of you have some idea about what you want to do in life. So most of you, I think 90% of you want to become teachers here. Oh, someone wants to become a writer. Very nice, Bhagwan. Someone wants to do PhD, and very nice, very nice. Someone is Shruti is preparing for competitive exams, and you know language plays a very important role in the interview skills in the competitive exams. So let's fluent speaker of English. Okay, very nice, very nice. Okay, you can stop typing. Thank you so much for responding so quickly. Now that's what I want from all of you. I want all of you to participate in the activities that they will be, and I want you all to even keep typing in the chat. Hello?
Yes.
Shall I continue?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I think Dr. Joshi wants to say something. Okay. I'll present my screen.
Yes, yes. Yeah. Yes, you can present your screen, please.
Yes. Yes. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you all can see my screen and the topic is visible. Before we begin with the career opportunities, I would like to know why is English so important? Why is English considered to be so important in your opinion? Again, you can type your answers in the chat box.
Can we speak or should we type?
You can do anything. I think if we keep your audio on, sometimes there is disturbance. So it's better you chat. Supriya ma'am, how it would be more convenient?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it possible for you to type? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, for global person, yes. Someone says, okay, someone says, okay, English is a global language. Very nice. English is a global language, and you need this language to have a global perspective. Fine. It is universally spoken. Okay, it's a global language, it's an international language, very good. For up-to-date knowledge, fine. I'm reading your messages on my mobile thing. Fine. So you all agree that English is an international language, it is a global language, it is considered to be the language of opportunities, language of growth, language of prestige. If you speak English very well, people give you a lot of respect. I don't know whether it is right or wrong, but that is the fact. Okay. And let me check if there is any other message. Nowadays, it's essential for profession in abroad and also in nation. Very good. Fine. So if you want to read literature in English language, you need to know the English language very well. So it is an international language, it is a global language, language of opportunities, language of growth, it is a window to the world. So many, I'm sure you know many other points like this. So English is very important. I'd like to share one important, I have many such other news items, but one particular thing that I would like to share with you is there was a news article in Times of India saying English Edge. Those who speak the language fluently earn 34% more than others. Okay. So if you know English very well, if you can speak English fluently, you end up earning much more than the people who do not talk English very well. Do you feel happy? Type happy in the chat box. Do you feel powerful? Do you feel that you have a lot of power because your English is good and you're pursuing a degree in English? Yes, it is a very good news. Sometimes I feel I was very fortunate to continue my education with English because English has a lot of opportunities. People are doing their graduations and post-graduations in English have a lot of opportunities. So you feel happy and you feel also powerful like this. Do you feel like this line very powerful? please feel powerful, because you are studying a very powerful language, language of opportunities, language of growth, language of money. So
Yes,
you should
madam.
be very, you should be very happy. And the way this cat looks into the mirror and sees a lion, so you should feel that you are very powerful, and perception is reality. So the way you perceive yourself, people are going to perceive you in the same manner. So you have to feel that you're confident, powerful, and the whole world is going to perceive you in the same manner. Let's go ahead with the job opportunities. And before we go ahead with the job opportunities, let's talk about what are the skills that the employers are looking for when they are hiring candidates. These are briefly the skills that most of the professions require to be able to be successful. For example, interpersonal skills, communication skills, listening skills, telephone skills, effective body language, critical thinking skills, creative thinking skills, problem solving skills, presentation skills, leadership skills, numeracy, IT skills. These are the skills that employers are looking for when they are hiring candidates for their companies or institutions, whether it is a teaching profession, whether you're working for a company, whether you're working for some MNC. Nowhere, if you want to be successful, you need to have some command over these skills. Now let's begin with the teaching career. I'm going to spend very less time here because tomorrow you have a special lecture on JRF and net preparation. But when you want to prepare your career for teaching, some of you are doing BA now, some of you are pursuing MA, you might do PhD. Other teaching qualifications are B.Ed, M.Ed. You need to clear your SecNet. Nowadays, PhD has also become mandatory, so you need to complete PhD if you want to be a college professor. I don't know whether you all know about PGCT or PGDT. Please try to know about these certifications. A postgraduate certificate in teaching of English. It is from IFLU, that is in Hyderabad. So in Hyderabad, we have English Language Institute that offers some distance learning courses. So PGCTE, if you Google a bit, you will know about the course. You can enroll for the course. The notes will come at your doorstep. You can study, you can do assignments, and you can have this certification at home. There is a contact program at the end of the course where you need to go to Hyderabad, stay at the IFLU and complete the course. So please try to know about these certifications. Do not restrict yourself only to BA, MA, PhD, SecNet. Try to go beyond this. You need, someone rightly said, it's a global language. You need to be able to speak very well. You should enhance your subject knowledge. So there is something called knowing the language and knowing about a language. If you want to become an English teacher, an effective English teacher, you have to know English very well. At the same time, you should know about the language. Now, what happens is sometimes students speak English very well, but they do not know about the language. The vis-a-vis is also true. Sometimes students know about the language very well. They have done BA, MA, a PhD, SecNet, everything, but they can't talk in English. Come on, if you can't talk in English, how can you teach that language to somebody else? You are an English teacher, English language or literature teacher. The prerequisite is your own English should be good. So you need to check for a certain certification. Now PGCTE is a certification for teaching of English language, where you will learn about the language. And in the process, you will end up improving your own English competence. If you're talking about teaching field, these are the streams where you can end up teaching English: BA, BCom, BSc, BHM, BEd, BE, BTech, MA, MBA, PGDBM, MTech. These are the streams where English teachers are required. They need to learn English. So if you get in arts, commerce, science, everywhere English teachers are required. So that is the power of the field. Apart from teaching, suppose you have done MA, what else can you do if you want to go for, if you do not wish to go for the teaching profession? You can do mass comm. If somebody is interested in mass comm journalism, So you can do MA Mass Comm. People with English graduation or post-graduation understand it better because they have done some literature. They know how to write, they know how to speak, so they find MA Mass Comm easier than other graduates. You can do law, legal language, legal contracts. They are written in very difficult and complex language, and if you have command over language and you're able to come up with legal documents, you can be a very good lawyer. So you can even continue doing your law after your ME. Management in HR and marketing, English graduates do very well. So if you do BA, MA, and then you do MBA, HR or marketing, you will have very good career because you have intrinsic understanding of how communication works. If you are preparing for banking exams, a lot of banking exams consist of English grammar and questions related to English. Please mute yourselves, everyone. I hear some background noise. Please mute yourselves. If you're preparing for MPSC, there are some MPSC, all competitive exams have even CET. If you want to do MBA, you need to clear CET. For CET, in CET paper as well, there is some component of English. So you need to study the English language if you want to even crack the preliminary exams of competitive examinations. And of course, whether it is MPSC, UPSC, you will have to crack GD round, you'll have to crack interview skills. There you need communication skills, effective communication skills. Someone rightly said, if you want to go abroad and you want to pursue your career abroad, so you want to go to US or Britain or Germany to pursue your further education, or you want to work there, you need to clear some international examinations like IELTS, GRE, TOEFL, which are English certifications, that you are a competent, proficient speaker of the language. So you need to have certain band for certain particular university. So IELTS, GRE, TOEFL, even for these exams, you need to have mastery over the language. And here, English graduates and postgraduate students do very well. Of course, I'm presuming that your English is very good. So if your English, you have done, so MA is Master of Arts, Master of English. So if you're Master of the language, IELTS, GRE, TOEFL would be very easy for you. So rather than traditional teaching, that is BCom, BSc, many times teachers or trainers are required for placement training, which is in boom nowadays. So engineering students, management students, before going for their placement rounds, they require some training in soft skills, English communication skills, group discussions, interview skills, business correspondence. Here they are looking for trainers who have done their graduation and post-graduation in English and who can train engineering and management students in these particular areas. So if you improve your group discussion skills, interview skills, soft skills, you will end up doing a very good job here. Business correspondence. Any questions? I hope I'm audible and clear.
Yes. You are
Yes,
very
ma'am.
well audible, ma'am. Yes, go ahead.
Yes. So when it means to when we say soft skills, when I ask you to become, okay, you teach English fine, but also try to become a soft skills trainer. When I say, what do you mean by soft skills? What do you mean by soft skills? You can chat. You can type your answers. Nobody is answering. Nobody's answering the question. What do you mean by soft skills? I hope the students are listening to me. Hello?
Yes, one answer has come in the chat box.
Body language, very good. Someone has said, yes, obviously effective use of the body language is a part of soft skills, very good. What else?
Vaishnavi saying, in what way we express ourselves?
Okay, the way we express ourselves, communication skills, behavior, the way you present yourself, very good. And these things are very important. How to present yourself in front of people. Okay, time management, interpersonal skills, people skills, communication skills, Facial expressions, very good. You should have a smile on your face. What else?
Hand gestures.
So skills
Soft
are a
skills.
combination of people skills, social skills, and communication skills. Fine, great. Thank you so much. So you have some idea about what are soft skills, and you need to come up with your own materials to teach soft skills to the students. A very simple thing is like, how do you introduce yourself in the interview? Many times students do not know. Do you know how to introduce yourself in the interview? What points are to be included in your professional introduction? So your first topic in soft skills would be introduce yourself professionally. So these things you need to work on, and then eventually, if you are good at it, you will end up teaching better to your students. So these are the roads less traveled. So of course you would teach BA, MA, but what else can you do apart from traditional teaching? You can do soft skills training. You can even do certification in neuro-linguistic programming and become an NLP trainer, where you are working with the psychology of the people and helping them boost their confidence in doing things better. Nowadays, online teaching, Corona has changed everything. I'm taking your session online. I couldn't have imagined this 3 years ago that I would take a guest lecture online. But online teaching is in boom, and if you can find out right sources, along with your education, you can start doing online teaching and start earning money. So online teaching is one area that you can explore. Proofreading, editing, these are the things that you can do along with your current job. Like you can start proofreading. Now I'm sure some of you said PhD. Now you are doing PhD in English. You may not require proofreader, but suppose somebody is doing PhD in economics and writes a thesis of 300 pages thesis in economics in English. Now economics person wouldn't be that good in English, that good at English, and that person requires a proofreader to proofread his thesis before submitting it to the university. So there is a lot of scope for proofreaders, editors. Various companies, they require editors for their content on the website, in the journals. Translation, very, very effective profession, very important, and there is a lot of scope if you know more than one language. So if you know Marathi very well and English very well, you can become a translator from Marathi to English, English to Marathi. If you know Hindi very well and English very well, you can become a translator there. I often suggest students to learn some international languages along with English. Foreign languages, you can end up learning German, French, Japanese, Chinese. Try, now if you're doing graduation, you have a lot of time. You can do one certification. You can try to master the one language along with your graduation. I know so many people who do graduation in English and graduation in French together, or PG in English and PG in French at the same time, distance learning. So try to know one international foreign language very well. That is going to open different horizons for you, because you will tomorrow you start teaching English in a college, you can start a course in German or French, and the students will come to you to learn that language. So try to know at least one or two more languages than English very well, where you not only teach them but also you're able to translate from one language to the other. So there's a lot of scope for translators. Content writing, website content development, blog content, journal content, various companies nowadays. Now there is so much material on internet. Who is writing this material? The moment you open your mobile, you see so many articles, and you just click on the article and you start reading. Who is writing these articles? Obviously people whose English is good, who can communicate very well, who can write in interactive language. Recently, one of my colleagues told me that there is one experiment, something has come up that, do you know this, green tea and cocoa powder, they are good to eliminate, they play a very important role in eliminating coronavirus. Now, this is a scientific study which is written in a very scientific language, But when it has to reach the masses that, okay, please start drinking green tea and start having cocoa powder, someone who's good at English is going to convert all that technical information into simple language so that common people are able to understand. So scientific reporting is one field in content writing. So whatever is written in scientific journals, you just try to make it simple and put it on your Facebook post or various blog posts where people are able to understand in simple language. Okay, I don't understand what are the components of green tea that are going to eliminate or cure me from coronavirus, but I know green tea and I should drink green tea. Fine. Similarly, legal content writing, as I said, contracts and all. For per contract, people take a lot of money. Some affidavits are to be made. They are in complicated language. So if you know how to write in legal language, in fact, even in law colleges, there is a subject called legal language where they require a faculty from English teaching them legal language. Technical writing. Now I have a mobile. Okay, I have this mobile and my company wants to write a manual for this mobile, how to use this particular mobile or particular machine. I'm sure when you take some electronic gadget, you get a booklet with it, giving you instructions, how to use that particular machine very well. Now that manual is written by a person whose English is very well. So many companies are hiring technical writers. Their English graduates are preferred because their basic English is good and they can write in English. With some training, they can come up with their own manuals and instructions. You can train your students for international examinations. I talked about IELTS, I talked about GRE, TOEFL, in fact, there are other exams like JESE, PET, Beck. So you can train your students for international examinations. You can also become an examiner for international examinations. So these are the roads less traveled. People hardly try them. At the most, people try proofreading or translation, but other things students do not try. In fact, these things you can try along with your regular teaching profession. You can keep teaching English in your college and you can try this, or you can have this as your full-time profession as well. You can be a full-time trainer or you can be a full-time examiner. That is absolutely fine. You'll end up earning a lot of money. Okay, that is fine. But these are the roads less traveled.
Okay.
What's wrong with this particular picture? I received it a few days ago and I found it very amusing.
The translation is not right. Give me sister, give me a sister.
Yeah, give me sister. So behne de, mujhe behne de, kind of. And here the song talks about flow, and the translator has just put the titles as "Give me sisters, give me sisters." Isn't that very funny? And doesn't it happen in the actual subtitles when you watch movies? If you're watching movies with English subtitles, sometimes the subtitles are really very amusing, and they're incorrect. So sometimes it happens, and that's why the person who knows both the languages very well should end up doing this. And there is a profession called subtitle writing. So you write subtitles to the movies. So if there is there's a very famous Hindi movie, you need to write subtitles in English for that movie, and that movie would be shown abroad. So subtitle writing is a new profession. It's not recently even on Hotstar, I saw some Hindi serials with English subtitles, and who were writing those subtitles? Obviously, people who know English. I wouldn't say English graduates, people who know English well and who are able to translate those dialogues into English. So when we talk about media, there is huge scope for English graduates. You can write stories, you can write scripts, you can become a subtitle writer. So subtitle writing is in boom nowadays because of, again, global scenario. Even if you have a movie in Marathi, you want people from other nations to watch that English movies and take aesthetic pleasure out of it. So, of course, a person from Germany doesn't know Marathi, but if there are English or German subtitles there, that person will be able to understand the content. And that's how I watched many of South Indian movies when I was a child. And nowadays, we are very lucky that we get dubbed movies. Dialogue writing, advertising is a field where there is huge scope for English graduates. Journalism, whether it is print journalism, you write in newspapers and journals. Audio journalism, where you listen to so many people talking on radios. Audiovisual journalism, reporting news. You see so many news reporters on television. So in journalism, there is huge scope for people with effective communication skills. Almost every company has a website, and they want people who can develop the content for their website in such a manner that it is attractive, easy to understand for the customers. So website content writing is something that is very lucrative nowadays. They want people who can write content for their websites. Blogging, there are blogs. You can begin your own blog to begin with. Create a blog. It is free of cost, and go into Blogger and create your own blog. Write something about your interests. So blogging nowadays, even YouTubing. I myself have recently started a YouTube channel considering the coronavirus situation. I regret now, I should have done it long back. So you can become a blogger, you can become a website developer, website content writer. So you can develop content for journals, for websites, for blogs. You can write books. So these are the roads less traveled. In some NGOs, I spoke to a few friends of mine who have worked with NGOs, and they told me that a lot of audiovisual material is to be developed in NGOs. Now here they require people with some aesthetic sense, what is good, what is bad, and they prefer people from communication skills because they believe that they have some aesthetic sense. So here, even the audiovisual material is to be developed, you can play an important part there. Most of the companies nowadays have tie-ups with NGOs and have CSR activities. What do you mean by CSR activities? Do you know what are CSR activities? Anyone?
Corporate social responsibilities.
Very good. Corporate social responsibility. So you do some projects for underprivileged people. Now companies are pouring in money and they are doing CSR activities. Recently, we did, no, not recently, 4-5 years ago, we taught some students from slums, which a company had sponsored to play for FIFA football. And we just had to teach them English and basic manners, kind of. They should be able to communicate there. Now, when the companies are investing in such CSR activities, there has to be some documentation of the same. Companies can simply say that, okay, we have done this, but the step-by-step documentation, they require a person whose English is good and who can write formal English very well. And they nowadays prefer English graduates for this documentation. So there is a provision for a person to be hired for writing, to maintaining documents of the CSR activities, step-by-step record of the CSR activities done by the company now and then. So when we talk about content writing, I have already talked about newspaper reporting, technical writing, scientific reporting, writing books, website content developing, and blogging. I have covered that in the previous slide, so I wouldn't spend more time here, but I request all the students to develop their writing skills because it has a huge scope in future. If you are good at writing and speaking both, you will have a lot of opportunities in the future. So start improving your own writing skills and speaking skills. I'm sure you're very good. No matter how good you are, you can always become better. So try to develop your writing and speaking skills. For content writing, your writing has to be very, very good, very effective. So this is it. Now tell me, what is the prerequisite for all this? Yes? As I said, you should be good at speaking, you should be good at writing. Of course, you should be good at listening and reading as well. So your basic competence in English has to be very good. And we began our discussion by saying that English is a global language. English is an international language. It is a language of opportunities. Now, how can you know whether your English is good or how good is your English? How do you know? I'd like to know from you. How would you know whether how good is your English? How would you check your competence in English? You are doing BA English. Yes?
You should interact with people, ma'am.
Okay, you should interact with people. Very good. You should interact with people, and that is how we practice English. I'm asking you, how would you know what is your level? What is the level of your English competence?
Ma'am, I would like to know my level when I teach in a class and I get to know that are they able to understand my teaching and everything. So that's the way I could check.
Okay, very nice. So when you teach, if your students are able to understand you, comprehend you, and give you appropriate feedback, you feel that, okay, I'm able to communicate very well. If they are not able to understand, there is some problem. Very nice, very nice benchmark. What else?
Ma'am, by comparing myself with someone is greater in English.
Okay, how do you do that? Hello? How do you compare? That's what I'm asking.
Every speaking aspect, such as pronunciation or storytelling or something.
Okay, so when you listen to somebody, you try to observe how that person speaks. How is that person's pronunciation? How does that person use vocabulary, grammar, and you try to compare it with yourself and you try to improve. Okay, what else? Very nice.
Nowadays there are apps available, and in that we can like there is listening, reading, and writing skills. Through that also we know where do we stand in English literature, like where do we.
So you mean to say you will take a test on that app?
Yeah.
You take a test on that app and you understand how good you are at. So can you suggest everyone what are those apps? Any particular app that you would like to talk about? Very nice. Can you mention a particular app?
There is one app on Google, I guess on Play Store. Its name is English Store. It is British Council. It is specifically for British English.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
okay. So by taking some online test, you would know your competence in the language. Very good.
Yeah, for the those who are not teaching or not doing a proper English course, they can do this.
Okay, fine.
Farooq Mujabar has answered the question. He says, I think my level is best because I'm talking with English HOD and other professors in my college.
That's very nice. If you talk in English with your teachers, that is the best thing, I think. But not only your teachers, you should talk with your friends also in English. So that's very nice. What else?
Watching English movies and understanding what are they saying.
Okay, watching English movies and understanding what they are saying. Fine. Very good. You should watch English movies. Yes, that is a very good medium of learning a language or becoming. I wouldn't say learning, becoming comfortable with the language. When you watch movies, you're enjoying. When you listen to music, you enjoy. So while enjoying, when you're listening to the language and enjoying, you become comfortable with the language. That gives you confidence. Yeah, someone was saying something. Hello?
Priyal is saying reading is the best way to improve.
Very nice. Reading. Absolutely. You should read to improve your English language. Now, when I'm talking about competence or your level, has anyone read about Common European Framework of Reference for Languages, CEFR. Does anyone know about this? I would like to introduce you to this concept. There is, when we talk about international language, global language, and we should know at international level what is our standard. As far as my English competence is concerned, what is my standard at international level? I am teaching an international language, global language, language of opportunities. So what is my level? Or I'm learning, I'm doing graduation, maybe I'm Bachelor of Arts, Master of Arts. Where do I stand at the international level? So there is a framework at global levels that is called Common European Framework of Reference for Languages. And if you can say A1 to C2, A1 is basic level, A1, A2, B1, B2 is independent level, and C1 to C2 are proficient levels. I usually suggest my students to do these certifications because they are going to help them in their professional lives also. This is BEC Preliminary, BEC Vantage, and BEC Higher. Now, the CFR is very important, and I personally believe that students who are pursuing graduation and post-graduation, no matter whether English people must do it, but even non-English students who are doing engineering or some other BCom or BSc should take up these certifications. And they will be a very strong aspect of your CV in the future, that you have an international certification is saying that you can talk in English or you can communicate in English. And you will understand based on the grade that you get, how good or bad you are at English. That's what I meant when I asked you, how would you judge what your level of English at the international level? Now, if you see this, so this is just a chart. If you see this, A is the basic user. So A1 is breakthrough or beginner. So you can, these are the descriptions. A2 is elementary level. B is independent user. And C1, C2 is what English graduates are expected to have. If you want to if you want to teach the language, you should be either C1 or C2, that is proficient or advanced users of the language. So if you see here, BEC Preliminary is B1 level, basic. BEC Vantage is B2 and BEC Higher is C1. So if you Google a bit and talk about CFR or BEC, you will know the center near your place. And these are the exams where you can train yourself. You can ask your teachers to train you and go and take the exam. With someone talked about British Council. British Council conducts these examinations. So check which is the nearby center. First get trained, and then go and take the exams. It is a very good idea. I think all English graduates should take these international. Now, the Cambridge is one. So these are the TESOL qualifications. BEC, I talked about Business English Certification. Maybe some people know about it and some people do not know about it. Try to do some international certification in English proficiency, along with your BA, MA, CETNET, PhD. Okay, that is different. As I said, knowing the language and knowing about a language, both are important. So knowing one language and knowing about the language, both are important when you want to teach that particular language. So BEC CELTA is one qualification, which is for again teaching certificate in teaching English to speakers of other languages. TKT is teaching knowledge test. It has got 3 modules. I have done BEC and TKT, teaching knowledge test. You have, if you want to teach students who want to do IELTS, there is a train the trainer program by British Council. They train you how to train for IELTS. So you can do that. By Trinity College London also, there are some certifications like JESE, graded examinations in spoken English. This particular JESE is very nice. I have coordinated for these exams and very nice examination. Life skills, search TESOL. So these are the courses that you can do along with your regular teaching or learning that you are doing in your traditional mediums. You can do MA, at the same time you can have one certification of BEC or JESE. So you're not going and learning it whole day. You will prepare your own on your own, or you will get trained by somebody and you will go and take the certification. So if you see this way, there are 3 agencies that offer you international certifications: Oxford, Trinity, and Cambridge. You can go for anything that is available nearby and do some international certificate. I strongly recommend all the students who are trying to pursue their career in the teaching sector and even non-teaching sector related to English, do the certification. It will help you a lot to improve your own competence in the language. Now coming back to this, communication skills. Do you speak in English every day? You can say yes,
Yes,
or
madam.
no. Yes.
Yes, madam, with friends and teachers.
How
or
often?
professors.
How many hours in a day do you talk in English?
At least 1 hour, madam.
Okay. Do you face some problems while talking in English?
We face some problems if someone speaks before us, he speaks little wrong, madam, in grammatical way.
Okay. Forget about others. When you try to talk, do you face any problem?
So I sometimes
About
face a
fluency,
problem
basically saying there's
of, like
fluency.
I can't find the right word to say at the right moment.
Oh, right. This is a very common problem, finding the right word at the right time. Okay. That is a problem. Fine.
If we are good readers, madam, then there is no such problems.
Okay, he has already answered the next question. How do you think you can solve this problem? If you are good at reading skills, if you keep reading, and also if you keep talking, what happens is you know the word, but just because you do not have a habit of talking in English, that word does not occur while talking. Does it happen? Later you remember the word. Vocabulary, yes. Ujjwala says increasing vocabulary. We need to increase vocabulary to solve this problem. But I personally feel that students have all the vocabulary, all the grammar that they require to talk. They only require practice. So whatever basic grammar, vocabulary you require, you already have it. The problem is you're not talking. You're not practicing.
Hello.
Speak wrong English. Yes.
Yes, madam.
Speak
How
wrong
we
English,
utilize
talk
this
English, and gradually you'll improve. Yes. Yes.
Good ma'am, may I speak now? Myself, Mr.
Yes,
Karche
yes.
from Baramati.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, actually, I'm teaching in English medium school. There mostly what happens, students, those they are from rural background, they cannot pronounce English words properly. So can we use that English language lab as well as any speech therapy? Will it be useful for that?
Yeah, you can use language lab. You can use the language labs. And
Okay.
most important aspect here, or the tool that the students have, is the teacher.
Yes.
As I'm repeating this many times, if my pronunciation is good and when my students listen to me, they are going to pronounce it correctly. I'll give you a very simple example. A few years ago, in one of my management students' class, one of my students fought with me. Fought is a very strong word, argued with me, saying that it is not sugar, it is sugar.
Yes.
Yeah, he was
Mostly
from
it
North.
happens.
He was from North, and there everyone says sugar, and he said, "Oh, in my entire life, I have heard my English teachers saying it is sugar, and now suddenly you have come in my life, and you are saying it is sugar. It is not sugar; it is sugar." So it is very important. Of course, English is our second language as well. None of us are perfect, but we can always try to be better. So your best. The best master for your students, sir, I think,
Yes.
is you.
And
You
even ma'am,
are-
for Jilla Parishad student, actually mostly they are from rural background. Family members are illiterate. So what can we do that for them, where that private companies or government can help them? How
Which
can we
people
help
you?
them?
Which people?
Rural
you are
background, Jilla Parishad school student, Jilla Parishad.
Yes, but they are studying. They are not illiterate. They are studying, right?
No. They are studying, but their parents are illiterate. They cannot guide them. But there also now semi-English schools are there in Jilla Parishad. So how can private companies can help them to make
And
available? such
nowadays,
kind of-
many private companies are coming. They even some companies. The companies can also provide language labs to the schools
Yes.
where students can sit and listen to some English stories, some material, audiovisual material can be made available. So all these infrastructure companies can provide. They can pay for the trainings.
Okay, thank
So
you.
all these
Thank you.
things, as I told you, one of the I think SKF company a few years ago, it used to sponsor slum childrens, literally slum childrens, to go for, of course, slum childrens who are good at playing football. So those children were trained in everything. So they paid for their football training, they paid for their English training, they paid for their soft skills training, and they sent those people for FIFA Children's World Cup. So private companies can do that. They are doing many things.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So let's go ahead with this. How to improve your public speaking skills. If it comes to students, because I'm addressing students, BA, MA students, you can create your only English zones. This is my own concept where I told my students, create your only English zone. Someone said I speak in English for 1 hour. Someone said I talk to our HOD in English. So your HOD is your only English zone. So whenever you talk to the HOD, you talk only in English. You should not use Marathi. So if you're talking to Supriya ma'am or Tivde ma'am or Shruti ma'am, you should talk only in English. No other language should be used. So they are your only English zones. Or you can consider your classroom to be your only English zone. So inside these 4 walls, only English, no matter with whom I'm talking. Maybe you have 4 friends with whom you're very comfortable. Okay, these 4 friends are my... So you decide for yourself. Someone very nicely said book reading. Reading is a medium of improving English. Very nice. So you should read good books by great people. Robin Sharma very beautifully says that when you read good books written by great people, some of their brilliance rubs off you. So read good books and try to review them. So you can come up with book review clubs. You can decide one book, and at the end of the month, some people can come up and present the key findings of those books, key takeaways from. So they can review the book in front of others. So that is going to take care of not only your reading but also presentation skills. Has anyone heard about Toastmasters? Yes or no? Type in chat box. I'm talking. You should also talk or write. Have you heard about Toastmasters? No. No problem. TED Talks?
Yes, madam.
I guess I'm not sure. I guess there are people who want a person.
Yes, thank you so much. I'll tell you now. There are clubs. These are international organizations which promote public speaking. Some of you said you want to be effective speakers. In fact, all teachers are expected to be effective speakers because you are going to be influencers. If I'm talking to you, you should be influenced by the right things that I'm telling you. But if I'm not able to encourage you to talk in English through my speaking, it would be futile. So how can you improve your presentation skills, speaking skills? There are some international platforms. You can even have your own platform at college level, and you can name it, Toastmaster or TED or something, some other name you can come up with. But check out, these things are available on Google. Check which is the nearest Toastmasters club that you have, or TED Talk club that you have. In Toastmasters, they meet every Saturday or Friday. One day they decide, they meet for 1 hour and they talk in English, and they have very nice and interesting activities that end up improving your communication skills in the English language. So try to discover these things. In fact, on Facebook also, there are various groups related to the English language. Try to join 1 or 2 groups, you will end up learning. You can get associated with some professional bodies. One of the professional bodies that I'm associated with is English Language Teachers Association of India. If you want to become an English teacher, you should have some association with. Now here you will learn from the other teachers. They have their Facebook pages. As students, you can join them. You would know what are the other teachers doing. Regional English Language Office, RELO. These are the two professional bodies that I know of. You can come up, you can discover some more professional bodies, but you can become a part of these professional bodies. Initially, to begin with, what you can do is you can join their Facebook page and try to learn from what is happening there. It will broaden your horizons because these things are happening at national and international level. So you would know what is, as far as English language teaching is concerned, what is happening. There are lectures arranged by eminent speakers across the globe on these platforms, which are broadcasted on their Facebook pages. You will listen, you will watch those lessons, you will listen to those speakers, and that will end up improving your understanding of the language and also understanding about the language. Again, coming back to how to improve your communication skills, I'm stressing this factor a lot because I personally feel it is the most important factor that should be addressed when we are talking about careers in the English language. Whether you're going for traditional teaching or offbeat teaching or something else, it is very important that you keep working on your own competence in the language. And there are 4 factors that you need to keep at the back of your minds. When you want to be an effective speaker of the language, you should be a confident speaker, fluent speaker, accurate speaker, and appropriate speaker. So a person is considered to be an effective speaker if he can speak confidently, fluently, accurately, and appropriately. So I am sure you know all these features, but all these features should exhibit when you talk and write. So when we talk about accuracy, I hope, Supriya ma'am, how much time is left?
Yes, you have 5 minutes more. Because if there are any question and answers, then you will have to address them.
That's what I was.
Yeah, 5, 7.
So I will quickly.
You take your time.
These accuracy slides.
You take your time.
And then, yes. Okay. So I'm again and again focusing on this. You should be a confident, fluent, accurate, and appropriate speaker of the language if tomorrow you want to teach this language to your students. It's very important. You can't give something to somebody that you yourself don't have. Okay, so first you should be a confident, fluent, accurate, and appropriate speaker of the language, and then you should try to teach. And then this is vis-a-vis process. You have to keep learning. Even today, I keep learning. English is a second language for all of us. No matter how good we are, we can always try to improve. I think Supriya ma'am has shared the link of my YouTube video with you that was related to pronunciation. That it is not breakfast, it is breakfast. Now the second word, what is it? Number 2. Can someone pronounce the second word for me?
Syllabus.
Yeah, it is syllabus. Have you heard people pronouncing it as syllabus?
Yes.
Hello? Yes. It is not syllabus, it is syllabus. It is not student, it is student.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So you should know the correct pronunciations of the words when I'm talking about accuracy. And here I'm not talking about some obscure or difficult words that you use every day. You use the word breakfast every day, but many times I hear people saying breakfast. It is not breakfast, it is breakfast. It is not syllabus, it is syllabus. It is not receipt, it is receipt. P is silent in number 7. When it comes to the level of grammar, what is your good name, please? Is it an appropriate sentence?
No,
What's the
madam.
right sentence?
What is your name?
May I know your name, please? What is your name,
Yes.
please? Now, again, what is your name? That is fine. Very basic level. But if you want to make it a bit better, it would be, may I know your name, please? In English, we do not have good names or bad names. But in Hindi, we say, Aapka Shubh Naam kya hai? And that is translated to, what is your good name, please? And people feel that it is very polite. But in English, we do not have good names or bad names. We have only names. Myself, Leena Jadhav, is ungrammatical. The correct expression would be, I am Leena Jadhav. This is at the level of grammar. Then when we talk about vocabulary, I did a mistake or I committed a mistake would be inappropriate. You make a mistake in the English language. So I made a mistake is correct. I committed a mistake is wrong, and I did a mistake is wrong. So when we are talking about accuracy, It should be at the level of pronunciation, knowing the correct pronunciation of words, then knowing how to use those words appropriately in a sentence, grammar, and knowing the exact collocations, which word will go where, vocabulary. So grammar, vocab, pronunciation. So that's it. And these are my details. I think Supriya ma'am has shared these things with you. I will stop sharing. Just a minute.
Maner ma'am, Shruti ma'am na phone kara.
I've stopped sharing. Thank you very much. I hope this was useful, and I'd like to answer your questions now. If you have any questions.
There is a question in the chat box. Someone is saying something.
How to
Just a minute. Can I speak?
Yes, please.
Yes, you can.
Yes. Ma'am, I have a question about, I want to become a professor. So I really want to know what are colleges looking at? What degree do they look at? Other than MA or anything? Is it MPhil, is it B.Ed? I would like to know.
There are various things here. Like first of all, you should be MA in English with higher second class, preferably first class. You should have the first class. If not the first class, higher second class. And you should have cleared SETNET examinations. And now the universities are coming up with this from 2021. You should be a PhD in the English language or literature. This is a basic qualification that the colleges are looking for.
There are some questions.
Along with this,
yes. Okay, you go please. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Along with this, you can do other courses. As I told you, you can do some proficiency examinations. If you're interested in teaching for B.Ed colleges, you can do B.Ed, M.Ed, and do SETNET there and PhD there as well. And you can, as I said, PGCT and PGDT. I talked about PGCT. You can do those courses. They will be added advantages. But basically, this is what they're looking for. PhD, SETNET, plus some publications. Minimum 2 publications they are looking for in UGC listed journals.
And ma'am, the communication skills that you earlier mentioned, will it be effective? Will it be of use while searching for a job and everything?
I'm not able to hear you clearly. Supriya ma'am, can you help me with that question?
Yes, I'm also, yeah. A bit loudly, please.
Now you can hear me?
Yes. Your voice is breaking actually.
Yeah, sorry for that. I'm looking for a job with communication skills. The examination of that would help me in further career.
I think she's asking about examinations that you talked about, whether these examinations will help her in acquiring a job.
Of course, they will. That will be an additional. That will be some additional advantage to you. Suppose you are teaching engineering students and you have done these examinations. You can open courses for your engineering students where you will train your students in these courses. So that will be additional thing for you along with these things. So that will help you for sure. That will help. That has helped me a lot personally because I have done these things, and that will certainly help you a lot.
Okay, there are some questions in the chat box. One of them is about Anglophobia. So how to remove it?
What do you mean by Anglophobia? Could you please
I think
help me?
he wants to say the fear of talking in English. Whether
Fear
are
of
we, yes, go
fear
ahead.
of talking in English. Again, I would say you have to become. That means you are not comfortable with the language. Am I correct? When you are scared of something that you're not comfortable with, so you need to find ways of becoming comfortable with the language. Now, how do you become comfortable with the language? If you directly go and talk to your teachers in the language, you will not become comfortable with the language, because no matter how friendly I am as a teacher, I'm not your friend, and you wouldn't be that comfortable with me. you will be more comfortable with your friends. So try to talk in the language with the people you're comfortable with. This is the only and only method of removing fear. Only method. So if you have a best friend you're very comfortable with, you can make mistakes confident. You can confidently make mistakes with that in front of that friend. Start talking English with that friend. You have a group, start talking in English with that friend, with that within that group. Maybe your siblings. Like, how do you learn to speak your mother tongue? You first talk to your mother, father, your siblings, your relatives, the people you're most comfortable with. So start developing your comfort level with the language by interacting in that language with the people you're comfortable with, and that is the only method, that is the only solution to remove any phobia or fear. So you have to bring in that comfort to the language. I hope I've answered your question.
Yes. There is one more question regarding Facebook page. She's asking whether there is Facebook page of LTI, Pune, or the other institutions that you talked about. You can share those links with us. Yeah.
There is Facebook page of LTI Pune chapter. You can join that. If you go and check on Facebook, you will get a page of LTI Pune chapter. I'll share the link with Supriya ma'am.
Okay. Yes. I hope there is no question remained.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Someone is talking. Yes.
Yes.
You mentioned the courses. The courses are online or not?
Which courses? The certifications.
Certifications.
Yes, certifications. You register for the certification and go and take the exam. Training you'll have to arrange. Either you, when I took the certifications, I studied on my own and went to and took the exam with British Council. So it is up to you.
Oh.
Now you have, you are very lucky. You have English faculty members in your college, so you can request them to teach you, to run a course for you. That okay, I want to do Beck Prelim, and we are 10 of us, and you please teach us. So if you can request your teachers to run the course for you. So college can run the training for you, but college cannot do the exam for you. You have to go and take the exam with the center.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you so
Thank you
much.
for the question.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, okay. Yes, this will be the last question, please. Yes, yes, go ahead.
Yes.
How to read English books comfortably like our mother tongue?
How to read the English books like your mother tongue. You need to develop comfort again like the mother tongue. As I said, start talking about the books with your friends. I mentioned read books and try to talk what you understood from the books with your friends. So if you have read a book called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari or The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, try to talk about that book in English with your friends, in simple English, no problem, wrong English, no problem, broken English, no problem, but try to talk. Try to tell your teachers, okay, if Shruti ma'am is teaching you or Supriya ma'am is teaching you or Tivde ma'am is teaching you, if you have read a book, go and tell them in 5-6 sentences about the book, and you will develop the comfort level with the language. Try to internalize that particular book. If you understand the concepts gradually, it is a gradual process. It wouldn't happen that you read one book and you will be able to read books like your mother tongue. You need to develop your competence in the language. So 1 book, 2 books, 3 books, 4 books. So read, listen, listening, speaking, reading, writing. These 4 skills you need to develop. Nowadays, we are very lucky. We have audiobooks. So what I do is I download a PDF. At the same time, I go to YouTube and check whether I have an audiobook of the same. And I download the audiobook as well. So I read and I listen. So in the process, I'm listening, reading, and then I talk about the book. And you can even write what you understood from what are your key takeaways from the book. I hope I have answered your question.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
That was a wonderful question.
Yes, thank you, Leena ma'am. Thank you so much for the wonderful session.
You are not audible.
Yes, am I audible now? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the wonderful session. And there is one announcement for all of you. The feedback forms link will be provided tomorrow in the session, at the end of the session. and after filling the feedback form, you will be given the certificate, the e-certificate, and e-certificate will be provided within a week. So you will have to attend tomorrow's session and submit the feedback form, then only you will get the e-certificate. Thank you so much for the wonderful session, Dr. Leena
Thank
Jadhav.
you.
Yes, and
Thank you for
yeah.
inviting me, and I extend my heartful gratitude towards the principal of Vivekanand College, Dr. R.K. Kumbhar, HOD Dr. Kavita Tibre, and IQAC coordinator Dr. Shruti Joshi for inviting me for this particular webinar guest series and giving me an opportunity to interact with so many young minds. It has been a wonderful experience. Thank you very much. I hope everyone enjoyed the session.
Yes. Yeah. I request Dr. Shruti Joshi, Madam, IQSC coordinator, to propose a vote of thanks. Please, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Supriya. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, at the outset, I first of all congratulate Dr. Leena Jadhav for her very energetic and performance, and I also congratulate you, Dr. Jadhav, for your achievements in your life. I am happy to have you on our workshop. I'm thankful to you for your lucid explanation and simplified version of the information which is needed for our students who mostly belong to the rural background and regional language education, who need to know that apart from the run-on-the-mill courses in English degree, related to English degree, there are lots of opportunities available to them. And we as institution are very happy to have you communicate with our students as well as the delegates across the state. I am grateful to the college authorities, our honorable principal, Dr. R.R. Kumbhar, for his permission to conduct this workshop and guidance regarding the conduction. I thank all the members of the organizing committee, the HOD, Dr. Kavita Tivde Madam, for her time and guidance. Also, I am thankful to other members of organization of this workshop, Supriya Patil Madam, the helping staff of our computer science department, Dr. Wagmare and R.Y. Patil Madam, the non-teaching staff as well, and also the lot of thanks go to the delegates who are present till the end of this workshop, and they are interested. That shows that they are really interested in their future careers, and they are really motivated to know and follow the guidelines which are provided by Dr. Leena Jadhav today. Thank you very much to all the people who contributed to this, the first day of this lecture series. I hope they have liked and enjoyed today, and they will like and enjoy tomorrow's session as well. So thank you once again, Dr. Jadhav, and thanks to the organizing committee. I think I should stop now. See you tomorrow, all the delegates.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Joshi ma'am. Thank you, Jadhav ma'am. And with the permission of the chair, I declare that the session is over. You can leave the meeting.
Yeah. Thank you, Supriya. Bye.
Thank you. Yeah.
Bye, everyone. Students, nice chatting with you. Bye.
सर स्ट्रीमिंग बंद कसं करूया ह्याच्यामध्ये जाऊ परत OBS मध्ये ओके स्टॉप